Welcome back, guys. You're back with us at Beamer and Son Garage. We're back. And there's my queen right there. That's my queen girl right there. That's the main bitch right there. Shiva. What's up, girl? What's up, daddy's girl? Come here. That's my girl. Yeah. That's my girl. She loves me. So we're out here today, and we've been asked by a guy that's repeatedly asking the same question, what do you got for sale? Well, I want to buy this car. I want to buy that car. Okay, so let's clear it up, okay? None of my cars are for sale, and my son owns some of them, so they're not all mine. And then there's a famous Rondo, who I think's got 3 or 4 up here too. See here, he's got a van, a Mustang, Escort, wagon, and a Ranger. I think he's got 4. So other than the 4 that are here, the rest of them belong to me and my son. So let's get at it, okay? So here's cars that potentially could be for sale. There's the first one. It's a 99 Mustang V6 automatic. It's rough. It's got a busted window. A tree fell on it. Yeah. It's got a lot of moss. It's no extra charge. Parts car, but there is a title to this car. So it had a blown head gasket, and it was parked. I got it. It was in a small flood. It's rough. It's a parts car, so possible fixture. Next car, it is not for sale. It's a 1986 Fifth Avenue 318 car. It belonged to my mother, and that's for obvious reasons. It's not for sale. It was my mother's car. Won't sell that car. Next car is a 1976 Camaro 6-cylinder automatic. Got a lot of rust, low miles. It was a theft recovery, so the car was stolen, and then they recovered it, and the insurance company then ended up with it because they paid out, I guess. And then they sold it at auction. The great Scott McKinney, owner of DNS Salvage, he bought it. And then we bought it from him. So this car belongs to my son. I can't sell it, but he may sell that car. It's possible. He has talked about it. So, but that car is needing a few things to it. Brakes are kind of iffy. Tires were good, but they might be bad now. Needs a lot of body work. It has a draw on the system, so you hook the battery up. The battery goes dead after a couple of days. That needs fixed. I did put a new coil on it. Had it running here about a year or so ago on the channel, and it was dead. And I made it run again because, like I said, it lost spark. So, but it does. It did run. It did run. It last. When I parked it here. Yeah, it's an automatic bucket seat car, 6-cylinder. Pretty cool car. Next car is a 75 Ford Elite. Belongs to the great Rondo. There's 5 cars of his. I said 4, that's 5. That car is not for sale. I don't own it, so can't sell it. King Dog. Boy, you dug some rust, boy. Look at that. Man, you got some craters dug, huh? You want puddles of water to look at them. Like you don't have a big water bowl. Look how big that water bowl is over that tall one. That's King's water bowl. What's up, baby? Yeah, these are rescue here. This dog wasn't born here or brought here as a pup. He showed up a little over a year ago. Somebody abandoned him. Somebody threw him basically to the curb, kicked him to the curb, and then somebody else found him. They kicked him to the curb, and then he come walking up on my property. So yeah, I'm not afraid of him at all. I mean, as big as he is, he's intimidating. He does not scare me because I know this dog. He would not hurt me. And then imagine if somebody came over by me, he may hurt them because he may feel like they might hurt me. But yeah, very, very loyal dog. We got Parspikes out the wazoo. We got 2 of these KDX. That's a Parspike for one we have. It would be for sale. 91 KDX 200. And I think I got the top end. I don't have the bottom end of the motor, but I got a lot of parts of that. Aaron's tractor, nah, got to keep that for cutting the grass. Nah, another mower. Keep for cutting grass. Here we got a car owned by me, a 91 Mustang LX, 4-cylinder automatic. It needs, I think, brake work. Fuel line had a leak in it. This car ran and drove. The transmission, it doesn't have drive, so it needs transmission work. And I had put a new gas tank, a new fuel pump, new tires in the back with some GT wheels. I've done a lot of work to this car, so it would be for sale. I do own this car. It's mine. It's titled in my name. And it came from George Balls. So if you're interested in the Balls car, hit me up. Next vehicle is a 1979 Ford pickup F100. I believe it's a short bed, so it's got a short frame, so it takes a short bed on it. You have to have the short bed for it. It doesn't. It's got a flat bed on it now. 351 Mary 400. I believe it's the 400 flavor. Automatic 4-wheel drive. I got it from a buddy of mine called Aaron Lindley, along with about 5 other vehicles, and they weren't bought all together, but they were bought for the same time. Picked up different days, and same time period anyways. And so this is another vehicle that I may sell. It does have a 400 in it, and I have plans for that engine. If I don't sell it, I'm going to put that engine in something else. All right, that's all these cars up on this side of the hill by the house. Down here, we have some more down here. We got a lot of cars. I think my favorite guy, Dennis Collins, Coffee Walk right now, is doing a 200 car sale. Over 200 cars he's selling that he's collected, calling them core cars, rebuildables. And not to be outdone by him, we have cars too. We don't have 200 of them, but we got 81 cars here. Okay, we got a complete flood here from the rain, and you can see what I'm dealing with. So water's up into the barn. How far? Up to the back tires? Yeah, up to the back tires. Well, no, the water's not standing there. No, it's gone from right here at the beginning of the barn. This is a 1969 LTD 390 automatic C6 car. Currently sitting with a 460 in it with a C6. So I imagine it's still the original transmission in it. And what is it, a mud dauber's nest? Yeah, mud dauber's nest. So, yeah, this car is not for sale. It could be. It is a hideaway headlight car. It needs a windshield and some brake work. And this car was running and driving, and I drove it in here. So these tires and some brake work now. I drove it in here. The brakes were kind of soft on it. I had put all new wheel cylinders, oh God, brake hoses and calipers, and I spent a ton of money on parts on this car, fixing it all. I drove this thing every day to work every day. Here is a Parspike Yamaha Blaster. I believe that's a Yamaha Blaster. There's 2 of them in here. There's a go-kart that may be for sale. I don't know. It belongs to my son, but these Parspikes are probably for sale. I don't know if I can get over to the other side of the barn. No, it's too wet. Wait a minute. I might be able to make it. Yeah, we're going to make it. Okay, over here is another quad. And this one is, that's the Blaster. The other one's a Warrior. That's a Warrior over there. This is a 98 Yamaha Blaster covered in dirt, but I do have a complete engine for it, and I may sell it. It's got a big bore kit. Here is the other KDX bike. This is not a parts bike. This is a complete bike. The engine's been rebuilt, 92. KDX 200 with new piston, new rings. Top end's been all redone. She's got a lot of time in trying to bring this old girl back together. But there's another bike right there that's complete. Back fender, I got one up on the hill. I don't know why the back fender's not on it, but it's not on it somewhere. Somewhere. Yeah, it's up on the hill, I imagine. And of course, you can see the remnants of my son and his bicycle parts throughout my barn. Yeah, that's my boy. Here's the other side of the LTD. And the doors and fenders and body is really solid. There's no rust on the, you know, on the side of the car and on either side. I mean, it's a really solid car. See if we can go around to the front. And there's another go-kart there that I may sell with a big Honda motor on it. Needs tires and a belt. And you got you a running go-kart. Monster. Big one. We got a motorhome here, 81 with a small block 350 we may sell. It's in a Largo. I don't know what the footage is on it. Probably, I don't know, 28 foot or something. It's a big one. It's got an awning on it. Here's a 63 Plymouth Valiant convertible. That's pretty cool. There's no paperwork on this one, but you can get paperwork for it. 6-cylinder automatic. It drove in there. I parked it in there. I may sell that. Here's a KX250 parts bike, and we do have an engine for it. It's just strictly a parts bike. It could be a builder. You could build this bike. That's another bike. It's a 93. Over here is the sister to that KX250, a 93, and this bike's complete. It's not been taken apart. I believe it needs probably a piston, probably rings, maybe a cylinder, possible a head. Don't know, didn't tear into it. This bike didn't run when I bought it, but there it is, and it's mine, and I could sell it. I would sell it. You know, if the price is right, you know. Bring your own trailer. Bring your own transportation. If we decide to sell it. And there's the front of that 63 convertible. That car came from New Jersey. And we're in Ohio. So that car came a long way to get to where it's at now. Starting over here, the 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner. Burnt orange inside, burnt orange outside. It was supposed to be a 383 4-speed pistol grip car. I haven't confirmed any of that, but it is an RM code. It does have an RM. I think there's a fender tag on it, or a butt tag, I guess they call it. It does have one of them tags for it. It is over numbers matching. I checked the radiator support matches the bin tag, so it has been somewhat checked professionally of where, you know, things are at. And there's the number right there. RM looks like 23 MO, possible IA 1077. This is a low production car. This is a rare car right here. Currently sitting with a 440 in it, former air grabber car. And I did get the air grabber mechanism that goes underneath the hood. It was all missing. And I bought, oh, it's got a fiberglass bumper. I bought all the chrome for the front windshield. I got this car running and driving, and it was running one day, and she locked up tighter than a drum. So I'm thinking timing chain popped off. Pistons smacked the valves, bent probably maybe a couple valves or a couple push rods maybe bent. I don't remember. I took the valve covers and push rods off this car. Could have swore I did. Or no, I think the rockers are still on it. But I don't, you know, I haven't confirmed that. But it was running, and it was running really good. Then it started running like crap, and I started trying to adjust the timing, advance it, and just, you know, retard it to get it to run better, and it just quit. So I'm thinking, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Definitely, probably timing chain. But it may be for sale for the right amount of money. I really don't want to sell the car, but if I'm offered enough money for it, I'd consider it. It's got an RT badge. It's not right. It's not an RT. It's a 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner. It's the real deal Holyfield. It doesn't have a numbers matching drivetrain now, so that hurts it a little bit. But still, it's still a wanted car. People are looking for this kind of car. 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner. Now here my tow truck sits. Needs a flywheel. 1986. I think it's 86. Yeah, still carbureted. But it's got a later model doghouse on it. F350. I'm thinking it's probably a 450 Super Duty because it's got a massive set of springs on it. And we got this out of DNS too. And it was formerly owned by a Blackjack body shop in Georgetown, Ohio. Formerly ran this truck, and he ran it, you know, he ran it everywhere for his body shop. It may be for sale. It does have a Holmes boom, Holmes wheel lift on it, Holmes twin winches. I may sell this truck. It does have some aluminum wheels on all four corners at the outer. I don't think the insides are aluminum, I remember, but I could be wrong. They may be aluminum all the way through. I don't remember. I put tires in the back. I should remember. At this point, I don't remember. 1996 Cadillac Hearth. Belongs to my son. I don't think he'll sell that car. But, you know, who knows? You know, if you offer him enough money, he may, you know, he may sell it, you know. 1993 Crown Vic, former Cincinnati detective's car. I put a motor in this thing. I parked it there running and driving. I don't know if it will run right now. I had put a fuel pump, an engine in. I did a lot of work to this car. And I drove this thing every day. 1964 Plymouth 880. Belongs to my son. We bought it from my friend Richard Crocker. Owns a junkyard called Crocker Auto Parts. He had this car, and my son picked it up from him. I believe it's a big block 361 two-barrel engine. And somebody converted to a 4-barrel. I don't think my son will sell it, but we got the car, and there it is. 1969, whoa, Mach 1. Belongs to me. Factory original. Second owner. I'm the second. I bought it from the original owner. Guy was a fireman, and that's what he did with it. He ran fire runs with it, and it was probably a little grocery getter for the family. He sold it to me. I bought it from the original owner. 351 Windsor, 2-barrel car. So it wasn't a 4-barrel Windsor flavor. It was a 2-barrel with a 4-speed and a 9-inch. And it still retains all the original drivetrains, all numbers matching. I rebuilt the engine. I put a 4-barrel Torque 2 intake on it and hopped the engine up a little bit. And that's the Mockster. Will I sell it? If you got enough money, you might be able to buy that car. I mean, but it's not going to be cheap, okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. It's going to be very expensive. I'm the second owner of the car. I don't really want to sell it. I just put floors in it. It's got a new trunk in it, new apron, fender aprons. Shock tower's been done. I mean, it's got a new radiator, rebuilt carburetor just put on it, new master cylinder just recent, like a couple days ago. I mean, wheels and tires. I mean, I got a ton of labor in this car over the years. Probably had it for 40 years. This car will definitely cost you. It'd be very expensive, probably the most expensive car here. You know, and no, I really don't want to sell it, but if somebody offers a crazy amount of money, you might be able to buy that car, Dennis Collins. But it's going to be probably more money than you got, Dennis, that you want to put out for this car. Yeah, it's going to be very expensive. 1988 GT Mustang Box Body. I'm second owner of that car. I hate to sell it, but, you know, for the right amount of money, you could possibly buy. This is a time machine. I call it the time machine because I think we set like a world record, like Dennis Collins was talking to him, and Richard Rollins set a Cannonball Run world record. They broke the record. I think this thing broke the record from Cincinnati, Ohio to Daytona Beach, Florida. We did it in 13 hours, and we stopped for fuel. We stopped and got a motel at the end of the drive, and was sitting on the bed in 13 hours in a motel room. From Cincinnati, Ohio to Daytona in 13 hours, yeah. Me and my great friend Joe Rumpy shared the driving task there, and then we turned around and came back in the middle of rush hour and did it again. So we repeated it. So we backed it up. 1976 Cadillac Fleetwood. No, excuse me, this ain't the Fleetwood. This is a Coupe de Ville that my son bought out of DNS. Again, this thing was totaled, supposedly totaled. Hit in the back, I repaired it. It's got a salvage title. I had got to get it inspected. And it's got the 500 big block with 50,000 miles on it. Low miles, one owner. And we got it from the salvage yard that picked it up. The insurance company got it from the original owner. Then the salvage company that we bought it from picked it up, and we got it from them. So we're technically, I guess you could say, the second owner, because them other two don't count. Those were just kind of pass through hands that would pass it on. So original owner, one owner had it, drove it. So yeah, it's originally one owner car. So I could say that was, you know, with all legitimately originally a one owner car. And the next was a 68 Dodge Coronet. And this was a one owner car too. One owner guy in New York City had this car. And then he moved to Cincinnati, and it ran around in New York City in the salt. There's a lot of cancer on this car. It does run and drive, and it did ran there and it parked it there. I mean, I drove it right there and parked it right there. So it does decent work. I plan on getting it out, put some tires in the front, and doing some work to it and having some fun with this car. It may be for sale, 318 two-barrel car. It does bark second gear rubber. It's all stock. It's a four-door. It's got the RT badge on the front of the grill, and that's wrong. That's wrong. I bought it off eBay. The next car is a 1965 Plymouth Barracuda, 318 car with an automatic. Was originally a 6-cylinder 3-in-3 car. So it's got the clutch pedal. I just recently stuck a clutch pedal in it because we want to go to 4-speed with this car. That car belongs to my son. I don't think he'll sell it. It's his first car. I would probably bet everything I have that he will not sell that car. But that's what it is. The 65 Plymouth Barracuda. It's got this cool snorkel hood scoop. The thing ran 10s at Ohio Valley Dragway. And I think that was an 1/8 mile they had. And so, yeah, so it used to be a former drag car. GMC, God Made Chevrolet. My wrecker, I'll never sell it. I'll never sell it. I won't sell this car, this truck. I won't sell it. So. But it's what it is. It's a GMC, God Made Chevrolet. 1-ton, former catering truck.